Okay, folks have asked for a tour of the shop, so we're going to do the hot shop and the cold shop. This is the hot shop. When I got this place, it ended right about there, and I built this part on when I got into blacksmithing. You can see up here at the top, there's a vent that does have a powered fan in it. Here's the propane cylinders and the line that goes up and goes inside to the Propane Forge. This is a table that I use. The wood's the same, I guess 6x6 that I have my post vise mounted to, so they're both removable, so I can swap them out. And this is the larger scrap metal pile. Stepping inside, we have a slack tub, of course. This is the adjustment for my coal forge, so all the way, lots of air, very little air. This is the coal forge itself. Just looking down into the fire pot. Underneath here you can see probably that's a centrifugal pump casing, which is nice. It doesn't get, that's the part that gets hot. It's cast iron problems. This is the propane forge. I added a shelf to it recently at somebody else's urging, and yeah, I like this setup a lot better. I thought it'd be slow, but it's not. It's a 3-burner, but I usually only get up to about 2. The system's set up so that if I'm running a single blower, for instance, when I want to go work at the power hammer, then I can shut this valve and it goes to a reduced amount of propane being fed to the burner, just enough to keep it lit so that it doesn't woof out, but it saves me a lot of fuel and doesn't make heat while I'm over there. Basically, I can do the same thing with the coal forge. If I'm working a hot fire, right before I pull the work out, I'll just do that, and then I don't have as much fuel being burned while I'm away from the forge. So this is one of my portable quench tanks. This is a lighter oil I use for mostly all my 01 projects, as well as the 1084 and 15 and 20 Damascus I've been working with. Got some horse mats on the floor. My 1929 Little Giant power hammer. Very proud of that piece of equipment. All the hammers over there on the wall. Here's the Anvil with its requisite tools all hanging around in various places on it. This is a Future 2, and it's got a little rubber gasket here that separates aluminum bottom from the, I think, cast and hardened top. It's very quiet. I'm very happy with that Anvil. Got another older quench tank with darker oil in it. Spare belts. There's the polishing station. Here's my Bader BM3. That used to be the most dangerous piece of equipment in the shed until I bought the Little Giant. That thing's crazy dangerous. Drill press, wire wheel and grinder for tool bits and whatnot. Moving over here, we got some more bits. We got a stereo arrangement. There's the blast cabinet for if I'm parkerizing things. That's the current knife project I'm working on, actually, right there. I got another vise over here for holding stuff while I'm filing on it. This is the workbench. It's a train wreck like it always is. Piles of files, various other tools, various projects that I'm sending out. So these are some foul gas plugs. They're inch, and I'm trying to sort out exactly how I'm going to. It's a different project. I want to talk about. Let's see, storage. It's kind of like Starship living. Anytime you want to get at anything, you got to move, a quarter of the other stuff in here. It's absolutely a train wreck in here. This is my ancient Harbor Freight bandsaw. I've probably welded tons of stuff onto this over the years. The motor is not stock. I cut off the old brackets for the motor that came with it when it died, and this is one of the motors we sell at work. It was cheap. It's huge, so I did have to change a few things, but I just welded it onto the existing foot to make it work on here. So the welding station under here, I've got my Square Wave 200. I like this welder a lot. You can stick, or you can do the TIG stuff. So I got rid of my big coffin stick welder that I used to have here. Underneath it I got a MIG that I barely ever use. About the only thing I use that for is tubing. I keep the TIG covered up because I'm convinced the first board that went out on it was because I do a lot of grinding. There's a grinder down here. I do a lot of grinding here on the post vise, and I'm betting I had the TIG exposed and probably got a bunch of grinder crap that somehow got inside it, sparking at it. So I'm convinced not to do that again. So I covered up with the welding jacket when I do that. And like I said, this is an arrangement where I can pull the post vise out and put that welding table you saw in here so I can sit down and do more precise welding if I need to. Let's see, there's a pull-up bar. There's a vent up there someplace. I think that's about it. Here's the inside scrap pile. You can see a ton of horse rasps there. Those might eventually turn into knives. The other one I did. And then underneath the flooring here is where I store the majority of my longer metal, 8-foot and 10-foot sections of whatever I need, mostly structural crap. But there are pieces down there where you'll see. So there's a box of 15N20 and 1084. I think that's it. Okay, here's the tour of what I call the cold shed, which the wife calls the garage. Again, we got storage everywhere. I can figure out where to put it. This is the workbench, uncharacteristically clear of projects because I just finished working on the fourth of 4 jet skis. See the other videos for that fun and excitement. Storage. It's a decent bench. Some of the tools, more tools. Here's the crane I use. It's permanently mounted, but I can take it apart if I need to get the jet ski engines out of the skis and over to the bench. Here's my Enco. Yeah, I know, quality stuff. 10 by 54 lathe. 10 by 54 mil. This thing cost me $800 and had a bird's nest in the head when I got it. It's run off a variable frequency drive, and I got the control out here on the pendant. Used to have a VRO for it, but it died, and I haven't replaced that. It does a pretty good job. More storage. Storage is a press. This is my South Bend 13 by 5, I think it is. I think this was made in 1954. And oddly, even though the Enco looks like it's about the same vintage, it's not. This thing was made in like 1992. It just fell apart quicker, I think. The lathe is a joy to work with. Very happy with. Also on a variable frequency drive to the pendant controls. Let's see. Storage, more storage. The wife annoyingly keeps her car in here, which is a good thing half of the year and a bad thing the other half of the year. More storage. Mr. Brennan on the roof.